So for this question, part 1, we need to find find B so that the density function is valid. We can change the x squared plus y squared to like in a circle, so it's more easy to calculate. So x equals to r times cosine theta and y equals to r times sine theta. And we plug them in and change the dx and dy to d theta and dr, and get the integral of fxy should be equals to the integral of 2 over pi to 2 over 3 pi, and the integral of negative pi over 2 to pi over 2 of b times r d theta dr. And by solving this equation, we get b times pi equals to 1, which means b equals to 1 over pi, because the sum equals to 1. And the second question asks for some expected values. So first we calculate the expected value of x, which equals to from negative infinity to infinity of x times fxy dx dy. And then we plug in, just as what we did in the first question. It's equals to 1 over pi times negative 1 to 1 x times the integral from negative square root of 1 minus x squared to 1 minus x squared 1 dy dx, and which is equals to 0. And the expected value of x given y equals to the negative infinity to infinity x times fxy of x given y dx dy, which equals to the negative infinity to infinity x times fxy over infinity negative integral of negative infinity to infinity fxy xy dx, which equals to 0. So from x given y, the expected value of x equals to 0, we can know that the big Y, given big Y, the expected value of x equals to 0. So we also know that the expected value of y should equals to 0, and then we know that given x, it should the expected value of y should also equals to 0, and given big X, the expected value should be 0 as well. And then we calculate the expected value of xy, which equals to expected value of because all of them are 0, so for expected value of xy, we just plug in the equation from negative infinity to infinity, from negative infinity to infinity of xy times fxy xy dx dy equals to negative 1 to 1, and plug in the two bounds, and then we get which equals to 0. And so we see that the expected value of xy equals to expected value of x times expected value of y. So xy should be uncorrelated. And then for the last question, it asks if xy are proof they are correlated or not. So we can see that they are uncorrelated. And that's it for this question.